All right, time for Fearless Gray Live. So how do you find joy in your life? Here's a different thought. 100% responsibility. And I don't mean 100% responsibility to find joy. Like it's your responsibility to go out there and make joy. What I mean is one of the ways to create joy in your life is to take 100% responsibility for where you are right now. So that means take 100% responsibility for past actions, 100% responsibility for how you reacted to things that happened to you, 100% responsibility for how you treated others. And that's going to create joy. So what does that mean? So for example, like in my divorce, I went through my cave, and part of my cave was like a little bit like, oh, woe is me. Sorry, it's true. And then I started thinking like, okay, well, I have to take responsibility for like what got me to the point. So no, things happened in like my marriage that I had no control over. But what I had control over is how I reacted to them. And I'm not saying I did it all bad or all right, but I had to take responsibility for the good actions I took, and I had to take responsibility for the bad actions I took, because the combination of those two is like what got me to where I was. And like once I started to realize like I did things that got me to the point I was, for good or bad. Like, and there's, like I said, there was a lot of things that happened that were events that I had no control over, right? But how I reacted to them is what I had to be responsible for. And once I started to understand and take responsibility for how I reacted to all those, and know like the combination of it has put me where I was, it like started to like kind of get me out of that cave and like bring me a little bit more happiness and then joy. Because you know what I think it did is it realized, okay, so the actions I took then impacted that situation. So the actions I take today, the 100 responsibility for the actions I take today are going to change my future. And I think when you look back at the things that happened in your life and you look at the actions you've taken, you can look at, the good thing is you can look at the good ones and like, that was a great choice, and I can, repeat those choices over and over and over. So I'm taking 100 responsibility for my good choices too, and like nurturing them and growing them so that has a bigger impact. And then when I look back in the future and I take responsibility for the actions that I think I could have improved upon, that's awesome too, because I can avoid making those choices in the future. And so when you sit back and take 100% responsibility for how you act or how you react, right? Because your actions can be one or two things. They can be just taking actions on, your own moving forward, or sometimes you have to react to the things that happen. But in either case, it's always a choice. And when I realized like I was trying to make the best choice at the time, and they weren't always the right choice, but I was just doing what I thought was right, it gave me this sense of peace, because I like gave clarity into like what I can do to affect my joy in the future. So this is kind of my little thought for the day is, if you want joy in your life, take 100% responsibility for your actions and your reactions, both good and bad, because of course we're a human, so we're making some really great choices and some that we can improve upon. That'll bring you joy in the future. Anyways, flock on, have a great day. Let me know what you guys think today. Do you think you can get joy by taking 100% responsibility for your actions? And don't forget to flock, comment, like, follow, share. See you later.